Welcome to the Monday morning recap, coming at you early. Woo! Man, it's only 3:45 here, 4:45 East Coast.
A day late.
Oh, yeah. It's not even Monday, huh?
Later than ever.
It's not even Monday anymore. Today's show is brought to you by MyBookie.com. Use promo code DrinkinBros to double your deposit all the way up to $1,000. All the odds we'll be reading on today's show will be from MyBookie.com. Promo code DrinkinBros will double your deposit up to $1,000. Bet on anything, anytime, anywhere at MyBookie.com. Free agency in the NBA has kicked off with a lot of drama. I wasn't expecting anything this year.
That's what we're leading with?
I think we have to.
All of college, like football, essentially. College sports just changed.
We'll get to it. That was a week ago. This was over the weekend. Yeah. We'll get to it. I did not think Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving wanted to move, and now here we are. He just burns down every fucking team he's on, including this one.
Well, he's a role player. He just happens to be the best role player in the history of the NBA.
Maybe.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
So Colin Cowherd was talking about it on the Herd this morning. There are certain players who are great, but you can't build a team around them. Kevin Durant is one of them. Kyrie Irving is one of them. James Harden is one of them. It sucked when they were all on the same goddamn team because there wasn't a single leader to be found, including the coach.
Right. I mean,
I don't think that makes you a role player.
They did okay. They made the finals.
Who are you talking about?
The Thunder. The Durant.
Oh, no.
Westbrook.
That was 30 fucking years ago. I'm talking about the Nets from this year.
Oh, yeah.
This year's team, like, I'm with you with Kyrie.
Yeah.
He's not the superstar that you're going to build your team around. He is a role
he's
player.
A great off the ball player. If the Lakers somehow manage to get Kyrie Irving on their team, I'm telling you, it would be between them and the Warriors to win the finals.
He won the NBA Finals for the Cavs.
Yeah. Well, that's not true.
Not a role
that's not at all true.
He took that game over and hit the game-winning shot.
He hit one game-winning shot, but LeBron
like
James
30, 40
dominated.
points a game. No, so was Kyrie. Kyrie's putting 40 points a game that series.
If I'm not mistaken, that series, LeBron James averaged 38.5 points a game or something like that. Kyrie Irving did not average 40 points a game. He didn't play this year because
he wasn't vaccinated. Like, that was
he's a knucklehead.
Half the reason he didn't. Well, I mean, it's his personal choice, right?
That's not up for debate.
He's a fucking moron, though.
I mean, he's dumb anyway. Like, that's like Djokovic. Like, it's like, oh, dude, it's only because he didn't get vaccinated. It's like, no, he's a moron because he got kicked out of another major for hitting a woman in the throat with a tennis ball.
He's a moron, but he's also one of the best ball handlers to ever play basketball.
And he also plays I'm just talking about the style of player he is. He's not a leader, that's clear, because he doesn't do anything that a leader does, including setting an example by just showing the fuck up. But off the ball on a team like the Lakers, where you have a guy that can really do well out of the high post, LeBron James who can do well on the wing, and then an off-ball guard who can both shoot the ball and handle and penetrate. That's a good fucking team now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's still
you too.
Let me ask you this. This is always a debate in the NBA. If you had to start an NBA franchise with one player right now, who would it be?
Giannis.
Yeah, Giannis for me.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Giannis is fine. I mean, honestly, I would be happy with Tatum or Embiid or Jokic as well.
Get the fucking Tatum bullshit out of my face.
We'll see with Tatum. We'll see with
Tatum blows.
Like Jaylen Brown is.
Tatum's an infant, and he's already got a finals appearance.
Jaylen Brown is
He disappeared.
Yeah, he disappeared. Jaylen Brown, who is not nearly as talented as him, played better. That's a problem, right?
Wait till Jaylen Brown learns how to dribble.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Well,
I think there's a good chance the Celtics trade Jaylen Brown this offseason, by the way, but we'll see about that. It's definitely not going to be for Kyrie
They're not
Irving.
blow up the core that just went to the finals.
But speaking of which, I will take Jokic, by the way, and the Nuggets just did that.
Yeah, what is he, 27 now?
Yeah,
and they gave him the Supermax. Yeah, he's another one. Like a couple years ago, you may have said Steph Curry, right? But he's 34 now, so you can't.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to start now.
But it wouldn't
LeBron's old.
It wouldn't be Durant.
No.
At no point during his career would I have selected Durant or Kyrie Irving or James Harden and all these guys. Like, they're some of the best basketball players of all time.
Honestly, you don't even take Embiid there.
No.
You don't take a natural center.
Probably not. As good as he is out on the wing shooting, I agree. That it's just not the game that we play these days, right?
I mean, Giannis only does two things, right? Like, he only attacks the rim and plays defense.
Yeah, but that's like
can't shoot.
Stop him.
But
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, good luck stopping
let's say if 25-year-old Shaq was in the NBA right now, would he be your first choice?
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because of dominance.
Right.
That's the difference. Like nobody else is dominant like that. Everybody else can be stopped. Giannis can't be for the
Right.
most part. I think that's the differentiating factor there. But those other guys, I don't mean they're role players like six man, but I
Right,
mean
right.
you cannot start a franchise around any of those dudes. So now a lot of dumb shit has happened already in the NBA. There's a couple of things I want to address. One, how do 50 deals get done within 8 minutes of the fucking free agency
Crazy.
when it's illegal for them to talk to these guys
Right.
beforehand?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
It's all bullshit.
Just do that. Do away with that rule. Like, make it open, and then everybody's more prepared to handle shit.
Well, it's the same thing like with there used to be recruiting windows for college.
Yeah.
And there's not anymore. And nothing.
Why would there be?
Right.
That's stupid.
It's really dumb.
Yeah, it's changing and it's changing rapidly. The latest is Durant wants to go to Phoenix. Kyrie wants to go to the Lakers. If I'm the owner of the Nets, I trade him to fucking Jacksonville.
I'm sending him back to like Oklahoma City or something. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Like he doesn't have any. Kevin Durant has literally no say in this.
I agree.
All
man.
he can
Fuck
do
him.
is tell, like if the incoming team is like, hey, we're going to trade for you, and he's like, well, I'm just going to sit out. He can do that.
He can.
He can, and he
And
might.
he will.
Yeah, he might.
And
He
this
seems
is-
like that type of guy.
He's intimated behind closed doors that he wants to go to the fucking Warriors, right? As well.
Yeah.
And apparently Steph, Clay, and Draymond are aware of this, and
They are.
and they're like, we're
Nah,
good.
Don't need him. Literally don't need him.
The package was Wiseman, Wiggins,
And draft picks.
draft picks, and then it was one more guy. It wasn't Iguodala. It was
I wouldn't
somebody else.
Not one fucking prayer I make that trade.
No.
but- yeah.
Here's another thing that Colin Cowherd was talking about this morning. So he looked over the last 5 years of the major players that went from one team to another. I'm talking about like top 10 players in the NBA. LeBron James, Anthony Davis going to the Lakers, all the dummies that we're just talking about that went to the Nets, and what kind of success they've had versus teams who have maybe picked up one star, right? And how much success they've had. Celtics, everybody on that team was fucking drafted, right? The Warriors, most of the people, except for Andrew Wiggins on that team, were drafted or they're like lower level players.
Wiggins is still a team building move at
Yeah,
this
yeah,
point, though.
yep.
It's not like a superstar
No, he's
signing.
like 20. Yeah,
Yeah.
He. So it's like draft
Maple
and
Jordan?
draft and build and supplement. That's the key to success in the NBA. Almost every single finals is won by teams over the last 5 years that do exactly that. Not teams that go out and like, oh, we're going to go sign two superstars from two different teams and bring them on the team.
Well,
what does it
Lakers.
tell you?
Do we count the Lakers championship or no?
Do you count a fucking
bubble?
12-game season or whatever the fuck it was? No, of course not.
Listen, the Suns were undefeated and didn't make the playoffs.
The bubble ring, dude. That doesn't
Whatever.
count. The bubble
It's-
ring. Fuck
yeah.
the
No,
bubble.
that's
LA
nonsense.
just racking up bubble.
But the Suns are
championships.
another one, right? They bring in Chris Paul, who's not in any way a superstar, but he's a good supplement to that very
I mean,
young team that can score pretty
He's a
well,
Hall
right?
of Famer.
There's no
but-
question about that,
yeah.
but he's not like currently a superstar
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
NBA. He's a very stable player who, I mean, if he's healthy, but contributed what he contributed to that team. But everybody else, literally everybody else, on that team especially, I think the Celtics and the Suns still, because they're so young, are still almost all draft picks. So that's how you win. So like Minnesota right now, who just traded 4 fucking draft picks for Rudy Gobert for first round, like 2 first rounders and 2 swaps in the first round.
Right.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
That was a
Just
horrible trade.
brilliant by Utah.
For Rudy Gobert? I mean, he's not even that
No,
good. Let's be real about
I mean,
that.
first off, Rudy Gobert is the reason COVID existed.
Yeah.
He was
created
patient
it.
zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
and-
probably responsible, oddly enough, for killing half of Karl Anthony Towns' family.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now,
Now, maybe that's what this is. Karl Anthony Towns just wants to murder him.
Maybe. And it's just you got to get close to
But how does
Keep your
that
enemies
team?
closer.
How does that team succeed? Now you've got a Anthony Edwards, good wing player, right? Very good. You got Karl Anthony Towns, good low post player who can also shoot, and then you have Rudy Gobert. Like
great defensive center though. Like
Until it's the playoffs.
until it's the playoffs.
They're not-
On paper, it looks like a great team.
He's a great defensive center on the weak side, but one-on-one, not great. He's also not good at team, like strategic team defense, being in the fucking gaps, stopping passes and shit like that. Draymond Green plays better team defense than Rudy Gobert does because he understands the defensive scheme. Rudy Gobert is tall and athletic.
He's a paper tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of his defensive player of the years are bullshit.
Yeah, it's like
Does he have any?
He's got 2. Yeah,
Okay.
It's vanity metrics because he loses his guy, and then somebody else comes off the weak side, beats their guy, and he fucking blocks a shot from the weak side. It's like, oh, I average 3.5 blocks a game.
Yeah.
How many points are you giving up?
And then
right?
they have to take him out of games in the playoffs
because he can't shoot fucking free throws. Man.
It's not worth 4 picks, in my opinion.
No,
but, hey, good on Utah.
I wouldn't trade 4 first-round draft picks for anybody in the NBA. That is goddamn insane.
First-round draft picks in the NBA are not the asset you think they are.
Yeah.
Sure they are.
If you're outside
I
the
just
lottery,
told you how they are because every single team that wins the NBA championship does it with fucking draft picks.
Yeah, but
every
not
single one of
guys
them.
outside of the top 6. Like, very rarely.
Yeah.
Ayton and Booker were both lottery. Tatum was lottery. Was Brown?
I think it was like 22nd or something.
No, Jaylen Brown was like 3rd.
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah. I think
Who
those
am
were
I
both
thinking of on
lotto.
that team? They got somebody really good in like the 20s.
Well, they have Marcus Smart. Is that what you're like?
No, but he came
Marcus
from
Smart was later.
Sacramento, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Nah.
I think.
But he wasn't like he was a good prospect out of Oklahoma State, but he wasn't like lottery prospect.
He was top 10, I think.
Was he?
Yeah.
He may have been.
I mean, he was
He's-
great in college.
Yeah,
but
he's
Look
really
it
good.
up.
Yeah,
What
look
would
it
they
up.
do with Chris Paul if Kyrie no, Kyrie wants to go to Lakers. So Kyrie, I think, is going to definitely go to Lakers. He'll force that there.
And I think
It's
that,
only 1 year left on that deal, and
Yeah.
I think every team in the NBA knows if he's not happy and he goes to that team,
Yeah.
you're just blowing $46 million.
Yeah,
So.
Marcus Smart was the number 6 draft
Yeah.
pick.
Oh wow, shit.
So,
Wow.
it's top heavy. Every NBA draft is
Right.
top heavy.
Yeah.
Well, the Warriors picks were a little lower, right?
Draymond Green
Draymond's
was
second
20.
round.
Well, I know that, but what about
20,
Clay?
I think he was 11th, maybe.
Okay,
Hold
so
on.
that's lottery.
From Washington State.
Yeah, that's lottery. And I know Curry was lottery, although he was like late lottery.
Well, he got not really.
Mid lottery.
Mid.
Yeah.
Because, like, he got passed
I know
up
they took
by
Johnny Flynn.
and, yeah.
Smart move.
Yeah,
Minnesota took 2 point
Clay,
guards.
Clay was
Rubio.
11, yeah.
Rubio was defensible at the time. Rubio was a defensible pick.
He just signed with Cleveland, so you can go ahead and etch the Cavaliers' name into next year's championship trophy. They're fucked.
I like Rubio.
I mean,
hate
Minnesota's fucked.
That guy tears an ACL every single year.
Steph was 7th, yeah. So that's the key, though. So I think it's more about it's less about building a roster for 2022, 23, and more about how you run your fucking franchise, right? Like you have to. The Warriors just did it. They just had 2 fucking shitty ass years, one after another, after being in the finals for 5 years in a goddamn row. And they accepted it. They used their draft picks well.
tanked.
They fucking swapped one of them, right, for a really good player that was an immediate contributor that they knew would fit on their team because of dynamics, not because they went out and signed a free agent on a Supermax deal. That formula doesn't work, man. So I don't give a fuck where Durant goes. I don't think that team's winning shit because there's no team he can go to that's close enough that'll actually win.
There's only one team he went to that
Like
won.
maybe
That already fucking
Miami.
won.
Like him and Jimmy Butler on the same team is pretty interesting, but
Yeah.
Tyler Herro definitely goes in that trade. Like
Yeah.
he's gone, and probably Kyle Lowry as well, right? So they run into the same problem that the Lakers have run into, which is like you have multiple supermax players, and then anybody gets hurt, you're fucked.
Yeah, no, you have
I'm
no
not
rights.
comfortable saying that Kevin Durant's a fucking loser, though.
No. He's a great. He's like Andrew Wiggin, to be honest. He's not like Andrew Wiggin is nowhere near as good as Kevin Durant is, but they both need the same environment to win.
I don't think so. I think it's just like we vastly underrate him popping his Achilles. Like, no one's ever the same after they
He
tear
played
that.
in the league for 12 seasons before that.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, he's not the same guy. That he's not that dude anymore.
He's always been that dude personality wise, though. He's
Yeah,
always
sure,
been that
because
guy.
like when you are that guy and you have that skill set, and
Didn't he
then,
average 28 points a game this year?
Yeah, but he's still not the same Kevin Durant that he was when he was like.
yeah,
the
There's
dude.
different ways to average 28 in the NBA for sure.
Yeah,
You could have some
he's still
hollow
pretty
20.
goddamn good.
Yes.
He just needs to be on a team with other players. Going back to the Warriors, that is a possibility. I don't know that they would want it. I mean, if I
No.
were Steph
No,
and
no,
those
no.
guys, I would say no.
Fuck no.
No, not one prayer do I trade. I wouldn't even trade him for James Wiseman straight up, to be honest.
But whoa,
Because Wiseman, and sometime in the next,
I would. I would
no,
do
no,
that.
no.
In a
Definitely
heartbeat.
do that,
Sometime,
fucking
no, because then you take on too much salary and you can't fill out the rest of your roster. Sometime in the next 2 to 4 years or so, Wiseman and probably Kuminga, if Kuminga doesn't stay, are going to get traded for draft picks or something else to start rebuilding after Curry and Steph go.
because they're going to want too much money.
Yeah, the Warriors know exactly what they're doing. Like they're going to be. I think the Warriors will have 2 or 3 shitty seasons per decade over the next decade or so, or 2 or 3 shitty seasons over the next decade, and will be either in the finals or in contention for it the other 7 years.
Yeah.
because they are running their organization better than anybody else.
I just don't like Kevin Durant, by the way. His tweet today was pretty funny. So Shaq said, "Do you think I'm happy? Rudy Gobert's making $250 million. You're goddamn right we get mad. We get petty." I think it's a little bit of truth in our criticism there. And Durant responded, Shaquille is hilarious. You're a billionaire, bro. He's a billionaire because of his business moves outside of it.
Yeah.
These fucking numbers were nowhere near.
He had some good startup cash.
Yeah, but
I mean, like,
but you're $250 for Rudy Gobert. And imagine how much Shaq would be worth.
Wasn't the whole idea
Holy
for Kevin Durant
fuck.
to go to Brooklyn was so they were involved with like what Alibaba?
Yeah, tech companies. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like that was the sell.
That was the sell, yeah.
But here's some bad, like there, a lot of these organizations, you see the difference. This is what Cowher was talking about this morning. You see the difference between good organizations and shitty organizations. Like the New York Knicks are a shitty organization. The Lakers are a shitty organization. The fucking Minnesota Timberwolves are a shitty organization. And you can see it all based on the moves they've made literally in the last year. You can see why they're not going to have success anytime soon.
The Lakers, if they get Kyrie, that's a fucking dangerous
Maybe,
team.
yeah.
I'm also hard pressed to call the Lakers a shitty organization. Like
I would say,
overall,
What are you fucking talking about? They've like the money
they
they
have the
spent
most
per
titles.
team.
They have the most titles in the whole league.
The last one was a fake one, and before that, it's been fucking like 10 years since Kobe Bryant was alive before they won.
They don't ever.
Lakers too.
The Lakers haven't built a team since the Shaq Kobe years.
Yeah.
Like I agree with that. Like the Lakers have bought teams. Like the Lakers, even the Yankees of the fucking like the last Yankees dynasty, they got shit on way too much for buying players. They did that at the end, but they won those first 3 World Series with mostly homegrown talent, or at least like smartly acquired talent. The Lakers haven't built a smartly acquired team. Again, since
Not
the
many
Shaq
teams
Kobe
have.
years.
Like the Celtics have done it. As much as I hate Boston, they've done it right. They might be making moves on some trades as well. Like I think they want to fucking supplement Marcus Smart a little bit.
They know they're close.
The offense was not good enough, but they're a good organization. The Heat have run a really good organization. I mean, it's fucking Pat Riley. Of course they are.
Right.
Right. But it's like Pat Riley versus the Lakers. Jeannie Buss is not Pat Riley. Let's be real. The Lakers, the word Lakers doesn't mean shit to me. Who's running the organization? You know what I mean?
Well, we'll see. If they get Kyrie, they'll be back in the conversation yet again. And, LeBron's still got a couple years left. We'll find out.
Well, what's this shit going on in Utah?
Brian Winter. It's the summer of Windhurst. He's the best. He's now my favorite guy. This is the Harambe meme. So he went on First Take.
No, I think it was just an NBA show.
Okay.
It was it not because that bald black lady is hosting First Take sometimes now.
No,
think
maybe.
so,
I
yeah.
don't watch ESPN.
Or it could be Get Up. Maybe she was. Maybe
One of the two.
They're all the same.
He spun a yarn about Utah for 2.5 minutes that had everyone enthralled, hanging on his every word. And
he never said a goddamn thing.
And then a couple hours later, it said everything and nothing at the same time.
No, he didn't say shit.
And he became president that day. Rudy Gobert got traded.
To be honest, whomever is the general manager of the fucking Utah Jazz should be immediately promoted to president of the United States. For getting somebody to give you 4 first-round draft picks for Rudy Gobert, and
who it is, right?
And to have the intelligence to get rid of Rudy Gobert and keep Donovan Mitchell. Like the Heat made a very competitive offer to Utah to get Donovan Mitchell, and they passed on it.
It's Danny Ainge.
There you go.
Is it really?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Danny
He's
Ainge
in
is-
Utah now? Mm-hmm. Oh, no shit.
He's
run the ship.
He's architected a couple of teams. As a matter of fact, Boston's current success has something to do with some of the moves he made back
It's
in the
all
day
him,
to
yeah.
set that up.
Right.
Then he just gave Brad Stevens the keys and went to Utah.
Yeah.
And by the way, those picks that they got, like,
That's Jaylen Brown and fucking
no, I mean the
Jason
picks,
Tatum.
the picks that the Jazz got.
Yeah.
Those are going to be decent picks because
Yeah.
Minnesota's not going to be that
No, they're-
fucking good.
no.
You make the playoffs, you're not in the lottery.
That's fine, but it's even their best case scenario. Like Minnesota's best case scenario is a first round loss in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like best case.
They
the NBA
finished
is
10th last year, right?
The
In
NBA is not
West?
like the NFL where you can take like 2 first-round picks and trade up for a first-round pick.
No, I get it.
That's
It's still a better value than like a normal first round pick.
for sure. I mean, Rudy Gobert stinks. We established this. So
Yeah, they're gonna get super clogged up down low. I mean, they're look, Karl Anthony Towns doesn't play defense, not well, anyways. So
No.
I don't know how they're gonna fucking handle that. I mean, that's weird. If you got a good defensive center but a shitty defensive power forward,
Yeah.
like it's help defense is really effective when the center is helping on 6'4" guards.
Yeah.
But when it's like another 7-footer, well, you're not going to block a 7-footer off the weak side.
I
like
mean,
that.
I can't blame Karl Anthony Towns. Bad defense is in his blood. And I'm referring to his immune system.
We'll switch on over to college football. It's a crazy one. USC, UCLA going to the Big Ten. I am very, very excited about that.
Think about the matchups you're going to see every year now, especially if, and this is the other question, does Notre Dame go to the Big Ten now? I think they might have to.
Well, so the Big Ten rejected Notre Dame, and I believe it was 93, and they're still pretty pissed off about it.
Well, here's what I would do if I was the Big Ten. I would tell teams that they can't schedule games against Notre Dame until they join the Big Ten. Fuck them. They either join the Big Ten or they go to the SEC because the Pac-12 done. They're done.
No. Pac-12 brings
on in.
They're going to be a fucking G League.
Nope. Coming on into the Big 12. We're combining. Making
Yeah, that's what he's saying. The Pac-12 is dead.
Yeah.
It's going to the Big.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a bunch of fucking shitty second-rate teams in the Big 12.
So
UCF
as of
their
right
way
now,
into a big conference. Let's go.
So here we go. Big 12 is in deep discussions to add up to 6 Pac-12 teams.
Funny.
So with
Arizona
USC
schools.
and UCLA gone, that's 8. Was there 4 schools left?
So the Arizona schools would go to the Big 12, Colorado, and Utah.
Colorado back to the Big 12 is the funniest.
And then
fucking
you have
thing.
Utah, BYU. You have that rivalry for the Big 12.
Yeah.
Okay.
But honestly, I think the way all this stuff is going, maybe it's – I don't know if this is even legal or not, but the conferences should collude to not schedule games against Notre Dame until they join one. Fuck those guys. Join a fucking – what, you think you're fucking special? Join a
the
conference.
Alliance. The Alliance is no more.
And they have
Yeah,
their
well,
own
the
TV
Soviets
contracts.
and Nazis were allied.
They do
too,
have
right
TV
up until
contracts,
they-
but like the fucking and the ACC is the other question. What does that become? Do they just quit
Dead.
playing football together or
Fucking
what?
dead.
I think college football eventually just becomes the NFL where it's 2 conferences, right?
It should be. It should be an East and a West conference.
College football needs to be divorced from the other college sports.
Or have 2 leagues, right? Like an American National or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I
well,
mean?
it's just I just feel bad for all the other sports. Even basketball, like, it just fucks everything up. College football just needs to go separately from that because college football doesn't play midweek games, 3 games a week. Like, the travel's getting real weird.
right.
For all the
UCLA,
other
like
sports.
Mick Cronin, UCLA.
I didn't think about the travel to UCLA to play a game.
That's the thing is,
for the Big Ten.
Ohio State basketball has to go to L.A.
Yep.
in the middle of the week.
Or
Yeah.
vice versa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
twice a year now.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking weird. Like,
but fuck them, right? Because
Fuck 'em.
football is what I care about. I don't
Yeah,
give a
yeah,
shit
yeah.
about regular season college NBA or NBA or
college basketball.
games.
I will now.
you should because
fun,
I mean,
man.
dude, the NBA college basketball regular season is way better than the NBA regular season.
yeah.
Rob, you
Oh,
think
yeah.
those
NBA regular
guys go to
season.
class anyway?
What?
You think those guys are going to class anyway?
No, they're not.
No, but now it is definitely out the window. Like, there's no way you can. Do
But think
that
about the
schedule.
Big 12. Let's say even if Notre Dame doesn't join, the Big 12 matchups, if you're going to call it the Big 12 or Big 10, whatever the fuck they're going to call it now, right?
Big
Can't
10.
be Big 10 because there's going to be more than 10 teams.
There's
They-
been more.
They had 11 teams since
So
the
the
90s.
Big
But
12.
they're going to have to fucking change it at some point. If it gets
Big-
like 60 teams, they're like, oh, it's
Nah,
still
it's
the Big
funny.
10.
Hang on. So the Big 12 is actually thinking about adding Oregon and Washington as well.
Bring them on in.
And then
Nike
Pac,
money.
Pac
This would
Pac
be
was
an
going to change to
18-team
Pac
league.
16 at
An
some
18
point.
This would be an
That goes
18-team league.
from
Yeah.
Orlando to Seattle.
Let's go.
But think about the current Big Ten. Think about the matchup. It's Ohio State, Michigan every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ohio State, Penn State every year. Ohio State, USC every year. Like, what the fuck, man?
I know.
And you add Notre Dame, and now it's Notre Dame and all those teams plus Penn
Fuck
State
yeah,
plus
that would be great.
Yeah.
That'd
It's
be
like-
great.
You go from having like maybe 5 or 6 really great Big Ten matchups per year to having like 20.
Oh, yeah, it's
at
gonna be
that
awesome.
point.
But you know why all this is happening? You know why the Pac-12 is dying?
Money.
It's so kind of yes, but here's why really. And it boils down to it becoming money because of this issue.
The worst commissioner of all time.
But the worst commissioner for caving to this or whatever.
He's
the
not there anymore,
Pac-12
by the
was
way.
up its own ass via Stanford and Cal Berkeley because they wouldn't add schools that they deemed academically unfit.
Right.
So Stanford and Cal were like, no, like we don't want like Oklahoma State or Oklahoma. Like Texas is academically good enough to be in the Pac-12, but a lot of those other Big 12 schools that they could have potentially poached at any point back in the day, they fucking didn't because other than UT, like they didn't want Tech, they didn't want Oklahoma State, any of that shit because they were like, these are fucking idiot schools.
Yeah,
We don't-
and
we
then
don't want-
Larry Scott established the Pac-12 headquarters in San Francisco, spent millions of dollars in rent,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
It's a joke.
He completely
And so-
ruined the Pac-12.
But like the two most useless athletic members of the Pac-12, Stanford and Cal, killed it because I don't even know what like academics has fucking nothing to do with that college athletics at this point. And it hasn't for decades, maybe ever.
How long is it going to take for Clemson to join the Big Ten then?
The SEC?
Or what?
They'll go
Where are they going to go?
Clemson wants to be in the SEC.
I think they
No,
wanna-
there's no way.
Look, I agree, but you got to go somewhere.
I mean, at least that keeps you somewhat regional if you go to SEC.
It has
because
SEC
There's
vibes.
multiple coast to coast games every single year if you join the Big Ten. Now, right?
Right.
Like you're going to play UCLA and fucking, and who knows what's going to happen with Cal and Stanford. Like Stanford has a pretty competitive football team. It's not great, but it's pretty good.
Stanford should just join
Every
the
once
Ivy
in a
League.
while.
They're like a top 30 or 40 team every year. That's not bad.
They think they're Ivy League. They should just join the Ivy League.
And they have, for every now and again, they have a great fucking player that comes through too. Like, what was his name? Bryce Love. That dude was
Christian McCaffrey,
Yeah.
in college.
Andrew Luck,
Christian
Tiger
McCaffrey.
Woods.
Yeah.
Tiger went there.
I mean, Stanford. I've heard that the Big Ten is interested in Stanford because their Big Ten is the other conference that's up its own ass about academics.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's fine. Bring him in. That'd be
Yeah.
an easy
Stanford's
game
a
every
good
year
one, yeah.
on the
Yeah.
schedule. Like I'm fine with
but
it.
Clemson, man, I just feel like they're fucked. Of all the teams, of all the stuff that's moving around, like some G5 teams are going to make it to the Power 5, I guess, technically now.
Yeah.
Although is it even going to be that in 5 years? Well, I guess we'll have to revisit that.
2 years.
But that's definitely an improvement for them, not just like exposure recruiting, but also money from getting on TV and shit like that in these bigger markets. There's no question about that. I think they probably fare the best out of all these. And then the two conferences, SEC and Big Ten, fare really well as well. But I think Clemson gets hurt the most by all this stuff that's going on.
Football-wise.
Because they've been coasting.
Yeah.
I mean, they have
will.
been beating fucking nobodies
For
in their
years.
conference.
Yeah, for years.
They'll be in the SEC. The SEC would take Clemson
Yeah,
tomorrow. if
and
Clemson
some
called.
of the ACC schools will like.
I mean, Miami's got to go back to the SEC, right?
Well, they were never in it.
They were never in
They
it.
were in it.
They were Big East. And
Oh, that's right,
Yeah.
Big East. Yeah,
Yeah, Pitt will go to the Big Ten most
Yep.
likely.
Gross.
Miami
I don't
probably.
want Pitt.
I could see Pitt in the Big 12. Join West Virginia, backyard
and
brawl.
Cincinnati.
Yeah. That makes more sense. Notre Dame makes more sense for the Big Ten. Obviously, just geographically, it's
Although
right
they've
next door.
played more games, I think, against ACC teams over the past 5 years than anybody.
Because they're a half member of the ACC.
Correct, yeah, for basketball only. But as far as USC and UCLA are concerned, the one thing that's going to be really interesting is seeing those guys have to play in the snow.
Iowa.
Because,
November.
Dude, it's going to be
11
Michigan?
a.m. Central kickoff.
At
Yeah.
Utah and shit. Or not Utah, I guess.
Northwestern, just a snoozy.
I'll tell you what, dude,
Tired
there's going to
kickoff.
be games. There's going to be fucking games where USC is like at Northwestern or Iowa or something, and maybe they're favored by like 4 points.
Yeah,
but
it's going to be like a
noon-
12-9 game, yeah.
It's a noon kickoff, and it's fucking freezing, and you just smash that home
Mm-hmm.
winter dog.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to see those boys out there. Lincoln Riley, I'm sure, is looking forward to it.
Lincoln didn't sign up for this shit.
No, no, he didn't.
Lincoln signed up to go to Arizona. And
He thought he was getting sunshine, dude, all year. And no, friend. Welcome to the Big Ten. That'll be a blast to watch. It's interesting though, and if the Big 12 ends up picking off all these other teams, that's a fun conference as well. Like, there's a lot of fucking nasty, gritty little teams in there that'll be just beating the shit out of each other every week. For gambling wise,
It's gonna be great.
It's a dream.
For the
dude.
regular season, it's going to be great, but solving the 30-year-old problem of determining who the best college football team in the country is,
You w't have to worry about the Big 12 because we'll just beat each other up.
Yes.
We'll be like.
I'm not
Everyone's
at
gonna be,
all.
like,
no one is
perfectly
worried about the Big 12. No one.
By the
No
way,
one
that
definitely
was,
is.
that was the other thing that fucked the Pac-12 in terms of taking teams. They wouldn't take Baylor or TCU because of Jesus, or
Yeah.
BYU because too Jesus-y.
Well,
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
I
they-
get that.
They wouldn't take any of those schools. They were like all of the schools were not good enough for them, and now they're dead.
Now they're
Coastal elites.
Yeah,
Coastal elites, dude. Now they're gone. I hated the Pac-12. Rest in peace. I don't fucking care about that conference. I never have.
I love the
And
Pac-12.
really?
Pac-12 after dark.
Gross. Pack after fuck that.
That's because you're a fucking gambling junkie. That has nothing to do with even liking watching them. You probably,
no,
you probably don't even watch the
Trap 12,
games.
dude. We never win those games.
Do
dude.
heroin
We
addicts
never
really
win those
like
games.
heroin?
I like Eugene. I'm a big Oregon guy. Everyone knows that.
Sure, Prefontaine.
I was a
UCF
Colorado
is going
fan
to the
for a
Big
year.
12,
Yeah.
Greg,
Yeah, we'll be in the Big 12 next year.
and Cincinnati.
And
Yeah.
BYU and Houston.
That's fun, man. That's a fun. That's a fun little dirty.
It's a good
conference.
basketball conference too.
Yeah,
Great basketball conference.
Yeah. I don't know what happens to UCF though with that talent in there now. I mean,
I think you have
guys
to
are gonna get
change.
smoked.
We're not getting smoked.
You have to start
Yeah.
changing automatic
We have Florida recruits.
bowl bids based on winning or doing well and like having a good record in your conference. If you're a Big 12 team and you're playing fucking like UCF and shit like that, come on, man. That doesn't qualify you to be in the fucking CFP
Why?
because they're not good.
They're not good
Every
enough.
time they play an actually good team, they get their fucking ass
Yeah,
wrecked.
that
Now,
is
When do we get our
stumps.
ass
Oh
beat?
boy.
Go
Oh.
ahead, run off the list of times we got our ass beat.
Boy,
recently.
you got housed by Cincinnati. I mean, just fucking.
They were in our
housed by them.
conference.
I understand.
But they're an actual
now
football
they're going to be
team.
in your conference too.
Yeah, but we beat
How are you
their
going
ass
to beat
too.
them again?
It's not like it's an unfair rivalry. Like we beat their ass in like 2017, 2018, 2019, and then
but they just went to the CFP and played pretty well, right?
Yeah, their
like,
defense did.
Half their
And
team did, yeah.
Yeah,
Half
that's
the
true,
team.
yeah.
Ritter played like shit. Thank God the Falcons drafted him. So super stoked about
And
that.
if you're in a bigger conference, you're going to get better recruits. That's how it works. And we're in the premier recruiting stage.
But has it become a bigger conference? Like, let's say
It's better than the AAC. The TV rights are better. You can just
Yeah,
literally
that's-
show
You
like
get more
we're on
money.
ESPN at this time now more than we used to be at that time.
Sure,
we have
but-
an established coach who's been to a fucking championship game.
But that's now, right? That's in transition. So there's still the air of nobility in the Big 12 before all these fucking turds come into it. You know what I mean?
Is Utah a turd though? Utah's
no, they're
just a
good.
good team.
UCF is good too. Like it's a good program. All I'm saying is
BYU solid.
if we renamed AAA to Major League Baseball, everybody would still know it's AAA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's a
That's
noticeable
every conference except the SEC. SEC just means
the
more.
Big Ten's up there. Big
And
Ten. It's like-
Ohio State.
In terms of
it's Ohio
in terms
State.
of draft picks, there's nothing's close to the
No,
SEC.
no shit. Alabama probably had more people drafted than the entire AAC.
And like,
Ironically.
I mean,
yeah.
even Michigan, they had a
Or
better year
Georgia,
than Ohio State
not
this year,
Alabama.
but they get exposed. Like Ohio State doesn't get their ass beat that badly in the college football playoff, like because they're just
Well,
they got the
sometimes.
athletes, they got the dudes.
They got ran by Clemson that year. What was
Yeah.
that? 2018.
It was like
Yeah.
30 to nothing or
Yeah.
something like
and
that.
then the next year
33.
they beat them by 30.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. It was,
There's blowout, but the college football playoff is just notoriously blowout laden. That's not really a one program situation,
Even the BCS,
except for
back with,
Oklahoma.
like-
Oklahoma always gets.
But
their
the
shit
big
pushed
so the
in.
Big Ten is already a good conference. They're adding like USC. That's a good team.
Yeah, the Big
Yeah.
the Big Ten, the Big Ten, and the
That's a lot
SEC
different than a G5 team coming to a P5 conference. That's
Yeah.
a lot different.
The Big Ten and the SEC are the only two conferences that aren't bleeding teams and replacing.
Yeah. Well,
That's the-
ACC is not bleeding teams. They're just like kind of fucking in the stagnant water.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
think
they haven't bled yet.
like how are they fucking gonna continue to exist?
who?
The ACC. I don't understand like how that conference.
Basketball.
Well,
Clemson would be no. I'm not.
so Miami's paying a lot of people. They just paid a quarterback $9.5 million to go to school there. So they've got deep pockets. They could do it again. Is Florida State in there?
Yeah.
They are as well.
Florida
If
State.
Deion Sanders were to go there and then bring that money that he's paying these other kids with, for real, Florida State could turn the quarter pretty
He's
quickly.
not going to do it
I-
until his fucking kid leaves, though. I don't know how much time
Probably.
he's got
I'm
left.
not giving up on Norvell that quick.
Gross.
No, I wouldn't either. Yeah.
He's a good coach.
Also, the ACC is the only other conference that even has some semblance of like a culture, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
where the teams kind of like playing in it.
Yeah. Well, for basketball, right? I don't know if that's true for
More
football.
so for
Lacrosse
basketball.
as well.
Take,
Like,
you
a lot
can take
of-
your
a
ass
lot of-
across the street. We don't watch lacrosse.
No, just, ACC is a real, like, a last of the real conferences that has some sort of culture, some sort of vibe or brand to it whatsoever.
NC
like,
State, North Carolina, Duke.
You don't want to,
Virginia.
what do you call it? Tobacco Road.
Yeah.
Those,
Tobacco Road,
those
right.
guys, the North Carolina schools aren't going
Yeah.
to want to leave each other.
No.
Neither's NC State or fucking like they've
None
all
of them.
been, they've
None
all
of them
been
will, yeah.
and those 4 teams. Well, Wake Forest, I guess, as well. Those 5 teams plus Georgia Tech 6. They've been in the ACC for as long as I've been alive, I believe.
Yeah, NC State needs to keep being like the best school in baseball and then never make the College World Series.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
They're like the fucking Tampa Bay Lightning used to be. I don't get it. But yeah,
Shout out Ole Miss.
What's is the ACC gonna like? when they've had tumult, they've picked up like Big East teams, but not like West Coast teams, right? So it's not like Pac-12 and ACC are gonna.
The ACC's picked up. Like, I mean, the ACC has really strong brands and programs that are just like kind of down right now. Like Louisville is fucking great. Like Miami, like they have a lot.
Going to be back.
A lot of this is really circumstantial. This would have never happened to the Pac-12 in 2004. This would have maybe happened to the SEC in 2004.
In 2004, the Pac-12 had just won back-to-back championships, right?
So this is literally all because the Pac-12 has kind of been shit for the last like 6 years.
Not even just shit, but like super inconsistent. Like even when they did have good teams, their good teams would get fucking butt fucked by a tear. Like the Ducks would get butt fucked by the Beavers,
right? Or Ohio State.
Yeah, well, that's actually a good team,
right?
Yeah, no shit.
Well, I mean, the Oregon, they lost. Auburn was a close game in 2010. The Cam Newton championship. Ohio State less so when you guys beat Oregon. It wasn't that close.
It was Cardale Jones
against Mariota.
Yeah, we won the championship. I think they won by 21.
Yeah, so not close.
Yeah.
So how is it like? Does the ACC maintain and just hold on to whomever will stay? Because Clemson's not going to stay. They want to be great at football, right?
Yeah.
They've had recent success. I think that organization, that university wants to fucking continue to play at a high level at football because it's the only thing they're playing at a high level at right now. Mm-hmm. And it's the brand thing, what he's talking about.
The SEC makes sense.
There's a handful of teams that are national branding.
Carolina.
North Carolina's one of them. Duke's one of them. Like they're Duke fans everywhere. It's like being a fucking Braves or Cubs fan, or Yankees fan, or even I guess to some degree the Dodgers as well. There's like no matter what state you go to, there's a fucking Duke bar.
Yeah, but Duke will never be good at basketball. Or sorry, football.
No.
So why do we?
They're competitive, but they're not going to be great.
They'll never be.
They'll be decent or trash.
But it doesn't matter because all they have to be is pretty good, and because of the branding behind the team, everybody's going to jump on that bandwagon.
They just have to be like a better Northwestern for their.
The
conference.
ACC needs Louisville, Miami, Clemson, Florida State, and Pitt, and then maybe you get North Carolina in there sometimes. But those 5 schools right there, and even just those 4 schools, because I mean, really, the SEC has 4 schools that actually have a shot at winning ever. Those 4 fucking schools had really good fucking football teams very recently,
relatively recently.
Well, not Miami, but the other ones, like it's.
And they got Cristobal, and now they're starting to pay. They're starting to drop bags. So Miami should be back soon.
I think Florida State will be back soon too. I don't know if Deion's going to go there. I think his kid's only a sophomore, so he's probably not going to leave for a while because he coaches his kid there. But
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think that's their only way back. That's just my personal.
But this has
opinion,
completely flipped the landscape in college football again for like the second time in a year.
Yeah, I'm amped about it. And it starts pretty quickly too, which is great. We get a sponsor that pays for the show to be on the air. I'll read that right quick. You know it's MyBookie. Do you love sports? How about making money? If you answered yes to either of those questions, MyBookie.com is the place for you. Not only does betting with MyBookie.com make every game more exciting, but when you sign up using promo code Drinkin Bros, your first deposit is instantly doubled up to $1,000. With thousands of bets to make on all your favorite sports, there's no shortage of ways for you to win at MyBookie.com. On top of having amazing lines and props, MyBookie.com is also home to several exclusive contests and promotions that you can't find anywhere else, including their golf. I love betting golf on them. Get off the couch and get in the game with MyBookie.com. Turn your love of sports into your new side hustle. Head to MyBookie.com today. Use promo code Drinkin Bros to get your first deposit instantly doubled to $1,000 and start winning today. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.com. Speaking of which, I wonder if their odds changed for college football championship with all this madness going on. Let's pull it up and see what we got here. Internet's shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, we're just watching.
We're in the country.
Are we?
We're in the hill
media
country.
company, right?
Yeah, we're going to have to get Elon Musk internet.
Yeah,
Fucking
not a lot of internet in them there hills.
Can we get the Elon Musk internet, the Starlink? Is that a possibility?
We could, so I have a new
does it
plan
work?
of possibly getting multiple internet providers. So one will be for what we use personally on our computers, one will be dedicated for streaming, and one might even be dedicated for uploading.
Okay.
And we may just have to purchase those from 3 different people.
Carriers,
Yeah.
for real? Great.
Yeah.
That all sounds fun.
Yeah, I know, right?
Here's the updated odds for college football. God, these are weird numbers. Alabama is favored to win it all at 192. So, what do you close to 2-1 there. Georgia, 3.5 to 1. Ohio State's 4-1. Clemson is up next. It's 12 to 1.
Pass.
I don't understand.
Gross.
Whatever that kid's name is, their quarterback. They were scoring like 14 points a game last year.
I know. I don't know what's going to happen with that
Why
kid.
do they expect him to be better? He's not. He didn't show any signs of getting better during the season.
Listen, that Notre Dame game 2 years ago.
Right.
He's like, what's that dick that had that 450-yard passing game for the Packers and then got
Matt Flynn.
Yeah, Flynn.
Yeah.
He signed a 4-year contract with
Seahawks.
Seattle and never played a fucking game.
Best life ever. Dude, the Chase Daniel numbers was fucking insane.
He's
to
a
me.
legend.
$41 million,
Yeah.
and he's only played in 2 games?
I think he started 3 games.
He started for the Eagles
He's played in 5 games. Because he
Two
actually,
rings?
when Trubisky got hit or hurt, he started like 2 games for the Bears that year. So maybe he started 5 games.
Yeah.
But yes, Chase Daniel, I'm so proud of him. Proud to call him a fellow Tiger. Great man.
$41 million, dude. That's a hell of a life for playing 5 games. It's amazing. Congratulations.
Ukulele.
Yeah, that's his
He
name.
had
That's what we used to call him last year.
so 55.6 completion percentage. That's fucking terrible.
Terrible.
2,246 yards.
And now they're
9 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
their OC, their DC, and then their head of athletic department is now gone from Clemson.
Yeah, Clemson's not winning shit.
Venables,
I wouldn't even
yeah.
bet on Clemson to win the ACC.
And we all
feel good
thought
about
he
that.
was going to be like a super, like it was like, oh yeah, but he's really mobile. He rushed for 300 yards all year.
Yeah. No, he didn't
What
do
the
shit.
fuck, man? I don't get it. I don't understand why.
I mean, he has a pedigree. I think he was a 5-star, but
That doesn't mean
He was.
shit.
He was a 5-star.
that means a lot.
It doesn't. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it
like
does.
being a 5-star, it doesn't mean shit. That's what the whole movie Moneyball is about.
You got to perform, and that's the thing.
And he has not. Damn it.
The autopsy came back for Demaryius Thomas. It says he has CTE. Second stage. What does that mean exactly, Dan? I've never heard that.
I don't know what they mean by
phrase
second
before.
stage, but chronic traumatic encephalopathy is where a part of the brain gets so damaged that the brain's like, well, I'm not going to send any more energy in that direction because it's not working efficiently, and it just dies.
Gotcha.
Right.
So family members are saying that he had seizures beginning in 2020 and struggled with common conditions. I mean, he took some fucking shots in the NFL, like that were brutal shots.
Yeah, you got to think that Antonio Brown, sometime in the next like 2 or 3 years, if he doesn't get some serious help, is going to go on a fucking rampage or something.
Oh,
bad.
yeah.
Or he's going to kill himself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He needs to go to. There's a brain clinic in Dallas. Our buddy Nate Wessel
Yeah.
went there recently. I think Chuck Liddell's been through there as well. A lot of pro athletes who've had head injuries have been going through this one in Dallas. It's a really good brain clinic. So if you're out there, Antonio Brown, you're listening, probably get some or
Check it out.
somebody grab this dude by the fucking face and drag him
Yeah,
to
just
this
throw him in a
place.
van.
Like, come
Get
on. We can't keep letting people fucking just die like this. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
The NFL doesn't give a shit, obviously.
Nah.
Yeah.
Like, if it happened quietly, they're just like, that's not a big
Yeah.
deal. No, but Demaryius Thomas is from Denver. If he was like a fucking Packers player or somebody from a franchise that's ubiquitous across the country, or if he was just happened to be a beloved player, it would be a lot different.
If it was Donald Driver, yeah, they would.
But he
yeah,
was in
yeah.
Denver,
Yeah.
and nobody gives a shit. What are you doing?
What are you
He
doing?
had, he had a
Quit playing
short
with the
career
fucking-
too. If he had had a longer career,
Yeah.
I mean, he was beloved in Denver. I mean, people
Yeah,
loved
yeah.
him there, but he didn't. He just didn't play that long.
No. Next up, UFC 276. Giorgio, did you watch it?
I watched it with Dan. Little company outing action. We basically watched it in a sauna. Right,
We
Dan?
did. Went
Where-
to
where?
Woodrow's.
Oh, it was hot.
Little Woodrow's indoors. Didn't matter. It was humid as fuck.
There is no indoors there.
I know. There's a million people stuffed.
There's a roof, but that front's always open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked and felt like Thailand with the misters, but the mist never got to you. It evaporated too fast. And then we're just in the back, kind of
was
laid
miserable.
out. Yeah, it was pretty hot. We watched a lot of good fights.
What'd
There was
you
a
think
lot
of the
bad
card?
fights.
Yeah. So Izzy was obviously the main event.
And we're
That
starting there?
Sucked.
Why
Yes.
are we starting there?
That's the main event.
Well,
We're starting there because I fucking hate him.
Well, guess what,
I hate
Russ?
watching him
Me
fight.
and Dan left right before that fight started, and I Ubered home.
Did you
and
really?
He went to another bar to hit on women.
That is all factual. I was just so beaten down because I thought Max Holloway would actually show up, and he didn't.
He's
he got
nuts.
his ass beat for 5 rounds.
Yep.
Volkanovski might be the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world right now.
He's so good. Can we talk about how good Alexander Volkanovski is?
Yeah, what's up next for him?
155 probably.
Okay.
He's still got to clean out the division. He hasn't done that yet.
Well, who else is left?
No one. Like no one's even close to like on level. Like Max was literally debatably one of the
beaten Max
pound,
3 times,
I know,
that's
but
it, really,
But,
and
but think
Ortega.
about this: when you go pound for pound, 145-pound greats, Max is in the list, and there's no one else in the division who's close.
Yeah, but there's a lot of up-and-coming guys that he could probably fight. But he won't. He'll move up to 155.
Well,
He'll
he
fight.
said he wants to defend both belts and be the first guy to ever do that. Defend them simultaneously.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
That'd
so that
be a
means he
blast.
fight both weight classes.
This whole card was boring as shit.
You didn't like Macy Barber?
Yeah, that was all right.
I like that Strickland fight. The Strickland fight was
sucked.
good.
What are you talking about? You didn't like Macy Barber. Macy Barber sucks. She probably should have lost the fight to Jessica Ai. And then Jessica Ai retires. Thank God.
Macy Barber can get it.
Whatever.
Oh, you're just trying to bang her, right?
Yeah, that's all he's trying to do.
Cowboy Cerrone retired.
he did
during
after
this.
getting-
Got guillotined by
Jim Miller. Now the all-time leading wins.
MMA, yeah,
in the
all-time
UFC.
wins in the UFC. Yep.
I don't like 145 and 135. I just can't with that shit anymore.
135 is awesome.
No, it's not. A weight class where people don't get knocked out is not awesome. It's fucking boring. as shit.
125 might be a little boring. I think 135
Yeah,
is probably the
135,
best division.
yeah.
Henry Cejudo, one of the better technical fighters over the last decade or so, got ran out of the UFC because, well, it's 2 parts. One is attitude towards the money, but nobody wanted to watch him fight.
Yeah,
That's why he wasn't getting paid money.
I never
because
cared.
it's fucking boring.
Yeah, but the division's way better now. You have TJ.
TJ Dillashaw. You've
TJ
got-
Dillashaw on or off the drugs?
On EPO, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, if he's
But
on it,
that's-
then it's okay.
Then it's fine. Yeah.
if he's
Corey-
not,
I mean,
then
Cody
he's fucking
Sandhagen?
boring.
The Sandman.
God,
You have
fuck
Sandhagen,
off.
you have, Jose Aldo.
Jose Aldo down there now.
I would rather watch the fucking jujitsu slap fighting shit.
They're young.
First
yeah,
of all,
whatever
that's-
it's called.
That's combat jujitsu. It's
Combat jujitsu, yeah.
Style Bender, though, like that guy, I'm all done.
Well-
That's Floyd Mayweather in a UFC.
We got one fight.
Cage.
We got the one fight that they got to make, and it's Alex Pereira, who just knocked out Sean Strickland on the same card
Yep.
earlier in like a minute?
Yeah, and the
Sean
2.5
Strickland
minutes.
talks so much shit, too, throughout the entire week and everything
here's
else.
where me and Dan went wrong. We see Vegas never calculates the dogness in someone
Uh-huh.
in these betting odds, and we definitely agreed on that. We didn't calculate the dumbness of Sean.
Yeah,
Strickland.
Sean Strickland. The dumbness outweighed the dogness. He tried to stand up with perhaps one of the best kickboxers in the world in Alex Pereira, 2-division champion at Glory, also has beaten Izzy twice. So they will fight in the UFC.
Only
that
once
is the
on the
fight
record,
to make.
I guess, but yeah.
Well, he won by decision, and then he knocked him out. So he has bragging rights over Izzy. He has that clip where it's gone viral. You've seen it by now of
Yep.
him just knocking out Izzy and then standing over Izzy and talking shit to him.
Right.
So if there's one man that can potentially get him to actually show up for a fight, it's got to be Pereira, right?
Yeah. And that fight I want to see, and I hope Pereira wins, because I'm all done with Style Bender, like that fucking bullshit.
He came
I'm all
out
done
like
with
the
him.
Undertaker. Man, you guys are really just blaming the winner.
I love
here.
it, but it's boring to watch.
Here's
man.
He's a showman, but he's not a showman.
Remember
in the
what
cage.
was like
Right.
what was like a month ago where I said there should be a fucking competition at each weight class every year to be the champion, and then you're the champion for the next year. Every time one of these fucking high-level dudes gets into, except for Andy Silva, he's the only one I saw that never did this. Every time one of these dudes gets into a long winning streak as champion, they get super fucking boring and defensive. John Jones did it. His
Yeah.
last like 3 or 4 fights were fucking snooze fests.
Yeah.
Holy shit, because he wanted to retain the belt. And look, I don't blame him for that.
Take
That's
little damage, yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem with the rules, though. It's not a problem with the fighters. Israel Adesanya is a fucking great fighter. Put him in fights, like 2 or 3 fights a year, where all the fights matter.
So I was driving
Where he
back.
actually has to go out and fucking prove something every single time.
I was driving home. I didn't get to see the Sugar Sean O'Malley fight. Who did he win?
poked
He
the guy
accidentally
in the
eye
eye.
gouged and they called it off.
Yeah, it was a,
So it's
no
a
contest.
It's
Oh fuck! Really?
What was
Pedro
best is
Munoz.
Henry Cejudo backstage. Sean's giving his post-fight press conference, and he's right off camera, like right here would be being like, "Hey, Precious, can I get a warm-up fight in next?" And then Sean like looks over him and is like, "Are you freaking serious, man? Like in the middle of my interview, like are you ready? Are you cleared to go?" Like yes. And then Henry's like, "Yeah, like let's do this."
No, the best part was like Joe and like some of the announcers questioning him the manhood of Pedro Munoz. Like he hasn't just had a bunch of wars with like Jose Aldo.
Yeah, some like he took some like really good guys deep.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm sure he's chickening out against Sugar Sean O'Malley because he can't see out of
So
his
he
eye.
does have a scratch cornea. It was like swollen shut the next day, kind of proven. Do you have any more info on the Dustin Poirier Michael Chandler dust up, Dan?
I don't. They got into it.
In the crowd?
Who cares?
Yeah.
they were
No
both in
shit.
attendance.
And they had to be separated by security.
they're
It's
setting it up.
not real.
It's not real.
Yeah.
That's fucking set up, but it's fine.
I enjoy shit like that. I just want to
definitely-
see a great fight.
I want
watch
to see.
them.
I want to see those two guys fight for sure.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah, that'd be fun.
that'd be a really
And just
fun one.
squatting on their rankings because they won't really move that much.
But the
by
problem
being
is
the other-
every time you
flip-flop
have a
probably.
main fight like Izzy, everybody asks, well, what great one's Conor McGregor going to fight again? And it's the same fucking thing over and over again. Is he coming back this year to save the sport? Yes or no?
Well, he's not going to save
No
the
one
sport.
gives a fuck about Conor
I think
McGregor.
he is coming back.
Ratings-wise.
I think people are going to spend some money on it. People like everyone's calling him out because everyone wants Red Panty Night.
What's Red Panty Night?
So Red Panty Night's basically a term that means when you fight Conor McGregor, you wear your fancy panties because it's like the biggest.
No,
night of
your
life.
wife puts on the fancy panties because you're making that money. And it's a direct quote from Connor. I forget who it was, but he's like, "Red Panty Night for you and your woman." Like,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. When's he fighting?
Who cares?
He's gonna
That's
fight.
the downloads, brother.
He and Floyd Mayweather are negotiating a rematch right now. That's going to be his next fight. And I believe he offered McGregor like $200 million.
Yeah, it was
I think,
close
for
to
the fight,
$200 million.
something
I think
like
so,
that.
yeah.
Well, Dana's going to get a piece of that.
Dana's
too.
going to,
I
yeah,
don't think
he'll set it up.
I don't. Well, is Floyd going to pay him? Because I mean, Floyd's not really paying people lately. And the most interesting thing that happened at all is, Dan, did you see Hazmat call out Pereira saying he wants a piece of that?
Sure, but like that's not the fight that's going to happen. Chimaev fights at 170, not 185.
Fights at both. He's fought at both weights.
Yeah, but like he's going to stay at 170.
Okay, I'd like to see that. Just throwing that out there.
What's the next card coming up? What do we got? Anything big?
We're in England, right? Or is there a fight night in between?
That's
There's no Faziz. Oh, we have a great fight night coming up next week. Oh, we have Faziz RDA.
We have one fight.
One fight.
The one card. The rest of the card's trash.
It's not a pay-per-view, right?
No, it's
No,
ESPN Plus.
Yeah, it's ESPN.
Cool.
However, yeah, then you have the London Fight Night event, which is always fun because they have all the English fighters and the crowd's pretty like pumped up.
That's July 22nd.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
and then
weekend after
what's the next pay per view?
Oh, good. They won't have to choose between that and Wimbledon.
There we go.
Oh no, it's the 23rd. Excuse me.
Yeah, the next pay-per-view is
Mena Nunes.
That's Blades Aspinall.
yeah, Man Nunes is the next.
versus Juliana.
Yeah.
Pena.
We also got Brandon Murillo versus Kai Kara France. I've been very impressed by Kai Kara France lately.
For a
also,
fake title.
Also coming out of that city kickboxing area and that Thailand, New Zealand area. So shout out to all those guys.
Okay,
No,
cool.
why are we shouting those guys out?
I mean, they've been on a roll lately.
Who cares?
Georgia wants to give him a shout out, dude. Let him do it.
When's the last time there was a title fight that was really good? Right, like that.
Glover Teixeira Yuri.
that was a good
literally
one.
just
Yeah,
happened.
Nunes-
that was
Nunes-
awesome.
fight in UFC
That was
history.
fucking awesome, man.
Nunez last loss. That was a good fight. I mean, she
Yeah.
got her bell rung. That was a good one.
Yeah, it was decent. Yeah, I mean, it's just the superstar quality is missing. Like all those guys are getting old now, and
That's
they're not-
because the superstar guys are fucking. A lot of them are belt holders right now, and they're just fucking playing it safe and
Did
hanging
we
on.
not
their
find
Yuri-
belts.
Kamaru Usman knocking people out every time he steps the Colby Covington
I mean,
fights?
Yuri's by far the most exciting fighter in the UFC, and he is now the champion of 205.
I say
so-
Charles
Yeah,
Oliveira might
that's
be.
really interesting
Yeah.
to see how he's gonna his title defense goes whenever he fights again.
He doesn't
John
know how to
Jones-
fight
Because he doesn't
conservatively.
seem like the kind of guy that's going to play it safe no matter what the circumstances.
Yeah, is
are.
John Jones going to come back at all?
I don't know.
Is it so? Isn't he in that weight class?
He's been doing
Yeah, but
combat.
he's moving up to
jiu-jitsu.
heavyweight. He's been putting on weight.
So,
and
Ross,
lifting
John
heavy.
Jones has been taking all this time off on a move up to heavyweight to fight Francis Ngannou.
Oh shit, that would be a blast.
There's-
Or
Mass.
Stipe.
There's been talks in the works
Fuck yeah.
about a interim title against Stipe Miocic, which could potentially derail that Francis Ngannou fight. Also,
Well, Francis might not fight in the UFC again.
there's been some Twitter beef between John Jones and Tai Tuivasa, which has been pretty interesting back and forth
All right.
lately.
I think
All
they,
right,
they
well,
need
Ty
to.
doesn't want that smoke.
Ty does. Ty said he's going to knock him out.
He's
He wants
probably
to
not
get
going to
paid.
win, but
He doesn't want to actually fight him, though.
I think we need a fucking 4-way tournament with Jones, Stipe, Ty probably is the only other one that you could throw in there, and obviously Ngannou.
Now you can't. I
right?
can't keep Derek Lewis out of a tournament. If you're doing a mini tournament, you got to throw Derek
Derek
Lewis.
Lewis
in
just
there.
got knocked out by Ty.
Yeah.
I like Derek.
I mean, if you wanted to go like leave top two, which technically Cyril Gahn's in there too, but I don't really.
Cyril Gahn would be in it.
Yeah.
Over Ty probably.
Maybe
He's a much better
6
player.
people. Well, if you went 6 though,
Yeah, but
and you added
Cyril's
John Jones in.
Cyril's light work for John. Like stylistically, that's just terrible.
But
for
if you want
Cyril
these tournaments, Bellator offers those every year with a weight class. So
Yeah,
Gahn.
no,
and a $1 million prize.
$1 million
Oh no,
prize.
they a lot of people watch that. Yeah, and they pay their athletes.
They pay their athletes.
actual money. I think
Sure do.
I think Ryan.
well,
Bader,
no one has Showtime, right?
I think Ryan Bader made 15 mil on his
Yeah.
last title fight.
Yeah, he made a lot, man. We'll switch on over to Wimbledon, Bob. This has been a really fun tournament to watch, dude.
It's been one of the best.
Why are
Yeah.
you going to Bob? For
It's going to
tennis
get even more
expertise?
fun too.
Oh, it's about to get
Yeah.
fucking.
It's about to get one. This is like
wild.
the first week.
Watching this Kyrgios guy play has been one of the most exciting fucking things of.
Yeah,
I
we'll
mean,
see if he makes it all the way through Wimbledon without going to jail, right?
or just alive like that. I feel like that guy could kill himself at any second. And
His arm's about to fall off. I guess it's hurting from choking out his girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah, he does stuff like that. I mean, Kyrgios, do you know anything about Nick Kyrgios before this most recent thing?
No.
Like, he's a fucking lunatic. Like, he is.
Lunatic.
He is. I was explaining this to Ross before the show, like, a while back. And, like, he legitimately is just as raw talented as Djokovic and Federer and Nadal and Andy Murray, but he is broken in the brain. He is fucking like he would skip practices when Pokemon Go first came out to go play Pokemon Go when he was like 26 with the like 14-year-olds in the academy that he was training at and shit like that.
Yeah.
Just he was just out there chasing fucking Squirtles and shit instead of like trying to make millions of dollars. He's a fucking lunatic. But if you watch him play, he makes shots that nobody can make. Nobody, and there was.
I watched his set yesterday. He is fucking good.
He's crazy. He like the physical talent is unfucking real. And he had a quote after winning one of his matches early in Wimbledon that I was watching, and he was just like, I just wanted to let everyone know, I'm pretty good at tennis. Yeah. And we were like, because people doubt it, or he thinks people doubt it because they talk shit on him all the time because he never wins shit, even though he's so talented. And we're like, no, motherfucker, we know you're good at tennis. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like that you're a piece of shit in the brain, that you can't fucking do all this shit. So if he wins, I think he's playing a Chilean dude this next round. I forget his name. He's not even seeded. If Kyrgios wins, and he should, unless his arm gets fucked up.
On mybookie.com, it's 3.5 to 1. So yeah, he's a heavy favorite.
Yeah.
Christian Guerin. That's tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, if he beats that guy, the way it should shake out, it'll be him and Nadal in the semifinals.
Which would be a fucking blast. Dude.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see that bad. I think that would be
I mean, if he
amazing.
has one of those random days where it's
He
like
implodes.
it's like, well, it's a pitcher that's super wild, but he just happens to be on that day and throws a no hitter. He could beat Nadal
Easily.
right?
Easily.
Yeah.
And in theory, with the way Kyrgios plays, grass should be his best surface. Nadal is good on every surface. I mean, Clay's he's like the king of clay, but Nadal is so good that it really doesn't matter. But yeah, that should be a dope match. And then Nori, the fucking Brit, just won, I think, against Goffin, and so he'll play Djokovic, which is going to be tough for Djokovic because Djokovic barely survived a day. And,
Hey, it was a five. It took him 5 sets.
and
He was down.
Oh, he just
2-0.
kind of got started slow. After the second set, he fucking dominated the rest of the match.
he blew that first set. Like,
Yeah, he blew
cho-
it badly. But that happens sometimes. He still won 6-2, 6-2 the last 2 sets. Like, he dominated the rest of that
Yeah,
match.
but I mean, he had to pull it out.
He shouldn't have to do that against a fucking Irish dude.
He pulled it out.
So against
out.
Nori, by the way, I mean, here's how crazy the odds are. It's minus 2,000 for Djokovic. So
Yeah,
you're
but
not betting.
Nori,
I mean, Nori barely beat David Goffin, who's not even ranked.
Goffin, but that's
It's good, but he's not like...
he. That's more a product of just like recency bias. And
Yeah.
so, like Goffin is a good player.
Do you take a flyer on the dog in case Djokovic gets hurt?
I would actually.
On Kyrgios, I'm going to take a flyer. Just in
I would take
case
a
he
flyer.
shows up
So
and
for
whoops
for
Nadal.
Guerin, it's plus 305. So yeah, you're looking at. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Wait, what is
3
it
to
for
1.
Kyrgios versus Nadal? What's that?
That there's no. It's not. It's
Nadal-
not
that hasn't-
real yet. So
oh,
it's
it's
on
not
the board.
scheduled yet?
No.
No.
He's
So
still
they
gotta
got
win?
they
yeah,
have
they
to
both
win their next
yeah.
matches.
Okay.
So, and actually, not that anyone cares, but like Nadal is playing an American. There's an American in the quarterfinals, Fritz, but whatever.
Let's go.
There's only one American golf or tennis player I care about. It's Coco Gauff. That's the only one I'm really paying any attention to lately.
Andy Murray.
Well, she lost, but actually,
Yeah,
she
she
lost
did
to
lose, yeah.
Anisimova, who's another great.
Andy Murray's British.
I know.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Anna. I like Simona Halep too, but Anisimova is actually a fun player, and I was really surprised she beat Coco. Coco fell apart in that fucking match, which sucks. I like her a lot, and I like Anisimova too. But no one cares about Francis. The only American man that I really enjoy watching is Francis Tiafoe, and he blew his match to Goffin last round, and
How's Iz doing?
is lost
Big
to
Iz.
Sinner, who lost to Djokovic today.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hate to see it.
Hates to see it.
But Iz had a good tournament.
Yeah.
He's 37. He had no business making the round of 16 or whatever he made.
No.
Does he still got that serve?
Yeah, he's still serving like 135 miles an hour.
Yeah, he's fine.
No, he can play forever on that alone.
Yeah. And there's good money in tennis. People don't realize you don't have to get that far, and the paychecks are fucking huge, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine. This is all starting so fucking early tomorrow, but I'm amped about it.
See, here's what I love, by the way.
And forgive me for interrupting you, because I'm seeing they're both at 9:45. Are they playing on separate courts?
There's 4 courts at Wimbledon, I think.
No,
right?
there's a shit ton of
There's a
courts.
shit
But like
ton
the
of
four,
courts.
there's 4
There's
main
4
courts in the
mains.
middle.
Yeah. There's center
Why
court.
put them on at the same time, though? Like, I want to see both of these matches.
Well, they'll flip flop between the two.
So they do, yeah. Well, at this point, there's broadcasting on ESPN and
ESPN,
ESPN2.
yeah.
But I think they usually start at like 9:30 and 9:45, so the sets don't, or the games don't all match up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you'll be flip flopping back between the two on the broadcast.
But at some point, like at this stage, you also don't want to give someone even like a little bit of extra rest. Mm-hmm. So they kind of just have to start them roughly at the same
Yeah,
time.
that's like of all the modern sports, that might be, these types of tournaments might be the most grueling, right? Like I'm thinking
they're
of maybe
brutal.
soccer when they play 3 games a week, but that's super rare. This happens every fucking year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they
And it's like-
go right to bed.
It's like 3 to 4 hour on the court for like what 5 times in
Yeah.
a week and a half.
Oh yeah, dude. And
Fuck that.
they'll usually get a massage and then go to sleep. I mean,
get
they're
a-
fucking out. Yeah. That's why they got those hot ass women there. Because they keep panning over to Kyrgios' girlfriend.
I mean, if you're a fucking dude, you don't want to be wasting arm action pounding off. You got to
can't.
save that.
Can't,
Yeah.
dude. You
Yeah,
gotta
so you
save
got to
it.
bring in a Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just have a
situation,
really
yeah.
dedicated
A
coach.
D-dub special,
Yeah.
huh? Yeah.
I mean, who's a good tennis coach?
Honestly, I don't like a lot of times they just end up hiring old pros.
Yeah.
Like so,
Jimmy
for
Connors
example,
did it for a while.
Agassi was coaching Djokovic a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So Agassi was jacking off Novak Djokovic. Is what I'm
Good for
trying.
him.
Look, he's a former meth addict.
He's probably rubbing it on his head to try to get his hair back.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Last but not least, Tiger Woods just finished tied 39th at the Pro-Am. Xander Schauffele won. What is this?
Scottish Open this week.
Yeah, it was just a bullshit
So
tournament.
he's getting
39?
He was just getting reps in.
Yeah, he was just kind of fucking around. There were a couple, like that chip shot he hit, I think it was on 9 yesterday, was fucking crazy. Like he's in, not in the first cut. He's not really in, he may be in the first cut, but it's, the green is uphill a little bit, and he chips it right over the ridge. It bounces 3 times and goes in the hole. It's like an old school Tiger shot.
So he will be playing in the British Open.
Next week, yeah.
He said his leg was bothering him and then he couldn't do the U.S. Open. Smart move, probably.
He's been playing his entire summer for the for St. Andrews.
So
Yeah.
he doesn't have to fucking walk on hills anywhere.
Yeah, it's flat piece of land,
flat. It's huge fairways. Like, you're good. You're
and
good
he
there.
knows that course inside and out. Like
Yeah.
Tiger actually has a chance. At the British
Wow.
Open, Scottish Open, he just got reps in. He's not actually playing in the tournament. I think it was just the Pro-Am.
I think those odds are up, dude, for the British Open.
I think
already.
he's like low. It's like 25-1. Like
Really?
He has no business being 25-1, but it's Tiger.
Yeah.
It's just people are going to dump money in there.
Yeah.
Make a lot, or at least they'll make a lot of money on flyers. You know what I mean? Just like, yeah, I'll sprinkle Tiger. It's Tiger, man. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll waste $20 on nothing.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this? Oh, this is this week's. Okay.
This is Scottish.
We need to
Yeah.
we need to talk my bookie into having, like, so you pick a group for a day, right? A foursome or a twosome, and you just bet every single hole who you think's going to win that
Oh,
hole.
that'd be sick.
You can do that.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Where is it on my bookie?
It's
Oh,
live-
yeah.
live
That's
betting.
on my bookie. It's awesome.
But it's live. So you live bet. What I'm
You
seeing
go to
is,
the live betting section,
Yeah.
and then you go to the group, and then you can bet for each hole. Yeah.
Really?
That's a thing.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm going to start doing that.
It's nuts,
'Cause that's awesome.
People do it at tournaments and then try to heckle the other golfer. Like,
We should stream
Yeah.
that. That'd be worth streaming.
Like, what's his name?
So here's how good my bookies'
How
odds
big
are
go
for
more?
golf. They've got first round leader. They've got tournament matchups, so they'll go player for player in there. They've got 72 hole matchups. They've got top 5, top 10, top 20s, just to make the cut, which is pretty hilarious.
Yep.
PGA top player by region is also super fun.
yeah, there's top American, top
Yep.
European, top Asian.
Yep. And boom, they got the fucking British Open odds. Let's see what they are on mybookie.com.
I think Tiger's like 25 to 1.
Rory's favored to win it, huh? 8.5 to 1. Tiger, he might be way down the board. Let's see.
Command F.
I can't find him, dude.
Yeah, you might need a Command F on that.
The fuck's a Command F?
That's how you can search the web page for.
His name.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
For Tiger Woods?
For find.
Oh, that's fun. Look at that.
So, Woods. We just changed your life, huh?
Maybe. Probably not. I mean, it's rare that I use a laptop anymore, except for writing.
What's he at?
No, he's got no.
He can't find. I would go
Nothing.
just do Woods. Don't go Tiger.
Just Woods.
I don't know why, but I just
You
say
just go Woods, yeah.
So you didn't change my life. Technology's not there yet.
Yeah, it's because you're searching.
Woods
the
not
wrong
li-
spot.
Woods
This
is
is
not
the-
It's not listed.
This
What?
is a-
Tiger's not listed.
This
He's
is
off the board.
It's a Scottish Open.
Yeah, I'm on the British one now, but he is not on the board. So I'm assuming maybe they're looking at how he's playing this week.
Well, he's not gonna
perhaps.
play this week.
No, I mean in this thing that just ended right now. Shit, it's weird, man. There is a bunch of names on here without odds, and Tiger is not on there. Gary Woodland is the closest to Tiger Woods, both in name and physical appearance, but he's off the board. Maybe odds got too fucking crazy on Tiger.
Or they're just kind of like
recalculating.
they're just trying to get seeing if he's actually going to play.
Yeah.
Like how he's feeling going
He's
in.
going to play.
He'll play.
He'll play. He'll play for sure. I don't think he's going to win, though. It would be amazing if he did.
It's a better comeback story than anything ever.
What about him winning the Masters?
I know.
Better than that?
I know.
I
It
guess
is.
because he destroyed his leg. Or
Yeah, he
whatever.
almost lost his
Have
leg.
you looked at his leg?
Yeah, I mean, it's a comeback story, but like that's a self-inflicted.
All of his mistakes are self.
All of them,
That's
yeah.
true. Yeah, he just comes back from his own cell phones. Like at some point, that doesn't count. Like it's not the same.
What's better than creating your own adversity? Ralph?
He was so good.
No, we're
that
gonna
he
leave on.
couldn't-
We're gonna leave on that quote today. We're gonna leave on that quote today and live in it. I want everybody to live in that quote today by Delco Dan. Go to iTunes, rate the show 5-star, and leave a quick review on Spotify. It's just a 5-star. It's all the fucking advertisers care about. So please do so. We greatly appreciate it. For D'Anthony Holloway, Delco Dan, Hot Bob, Papa Giorgio, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Monday Morning Recap. Good morning, everyone.